guys, it's Elizabeth Ashley. I am here on the vlog on aimforfashion.com, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what it means to have a wedding planner or a wedding stylist at your wedding. So we wanted to talk to you a little bit about 5 different things that are important to look for in your wedding planner and what it means to have a wedding planner. A lot of people ask me, why do I need one? I can do it myself, or I have plenty of family, or I have plenty of friends who can contribute, or my church is going to help, and all that kind of fun stuff. So we're going to tell you 5 reasons why you need a wedding planner. So number 1 would be that the last thing that you want to be worrying about on your wedding day is paying all of your vendors. And so trying to keep track of your budget and trying to keep track of, did I pay so-and-so off? Did I get them the final check? You don't want a DJ coming up to you in the middle of the dance floor and being like, hey, can I get my other half, before I finish out the night. So you want to have that liaison who's going to be communicating with your vendors and making sure that they're paid off and all of that fun stuff. So second thing that I would recommend that you talk to your wedding planner about is making sure that you know your timeline. Your timeline is going to be your key focal point to making sure that your whole day runs smoothly. So we really encourage that you sit down and go through all of the fun things that you want to do. First dance, your processional, how many bridesmaids you have, how many groomsmen you have, how many songs you want playing, before you even walk down the aisle. All that kind of fun stuff boils down to like a final decimal time period. And the reason why I say that is because most venues will reach out to you and tell you, hey guys, you can only have the venue from this time to this time. If you go after this mark, then you're going to get charged an extra hour. It's the last thing that you want to be worrying about on your wedding day is like, are we going over? Are we going over? Are we going over? She'll keep you, she or him, whoever your wedding planner is, will keep you on time and make sure that you are aware of everything that's kind of going on. The second part of that timeline thing is also being able to watch your crowd, because sensing the room can be most important for a good wedding planner, is that they can kind of feel, okay, you know what, I think people are getting a little bit bored. I think that they're, thinking about leaving. I'm going to go ahead and move it into the money dance, or I'm going to have them cut the cake right now so that everybody sits back down and has a piece of cake and no one shuffles off. What I hate to see is a person have a venue for 6 hours and everyone's gone by hour 2. So it's really important to kind of keep the party alive and kind of keep everyone happy while you're out taking pictures with your groom and the family and all that kind of fun stuff. So that's the second part of the timeline. The third thing is that you need a designated bad guy. So what I tend to be is the designated bad guy, which means, hey, Uncle Joe, you know what? The bar has been cut off. It's only 2 beers per person. Or maybe it's just keeping stepmom and mom away from each other, or all of that other fun family drama that goes into a wedding, making sure everyone's on time and, not getting to the point where everyone wants to kill each other. So that's a designated bad guy that you don't want to be that day. You don't want to argue with your mother-in-law about the centerpieces, or try to haggle the DJ about picking different songs. You just don't want to be the bad guy. So we're happy to do that, because these are not our friends and they're not our family. So it's okay if we go up to them and nicely say something to kind of keep the peace. The fourth thing would be emergencies, things that you don't typically think of. Oh my gosh, we have real rose petals and we need fake rose petals. Just last minute things that you have to run to the store for, or something went wrong, the photographer isn't there on time, or maybe, sorry guys, this is part of an event planner's life, it's just craziness. Maybe it's just your pastor didn't show up. What are you going to do? Who's going to do your wedding? All of those things, a good wedding planner should have contingency plans on top of contingency plans on top of contingency plans. So we have all of that stuff, speed dial, don't worry about it. Half the time my philosophy is, if the roof is coming down, I just don't want you to know about it. I will make sure it's held up long enough for you to get through your reception, get in the car, and go to your honeymoon. And then afterwards you may hear a story or two. But I like to make it to where you don't know nearly half of that. And then, all of the extra details. The extra details would be where's the cake talk going to, and whose car are all the gifts going into, and who's taking all of the flowers home, and are we giving them out to people? All of those little things that people will come up to you constantly and be like, what should I do about this, and what should I do about that, and where do you want this, and where do you want that? A good wedding planner will have that all arranged and set forth ahead of time, and also will be running around making sure that that's all done behind the scenes. So you're just sitting there like amongst your guests, taking pictures and dancing and having a good time and enjoying your, glass of champagne or whatever it is. Also, it's very rare that bride and groom get to sit down and actually enjoy a meal. They're too busy talking to their guests and seeing people they haven't seen in a really long time. So we end up like making sure they have food in the car and like all those little details that when they leave and they're like, oh my gosh, that was such a long night, they don't feel like they had to do a lot of extra stuff other than just enjoy their company and enjoy their time. Things that people do not consider that a wedding planner is not in charge of. The number one thing that people have a misconception about hiring a wedding planner or hiring a wedding stylist is they think that they're going to stay, clean up everything, throw away all the trash, mop the floor, like the whole 9 yards. First, most important thing, and this is what we'll lead into why you need a wedding stylist, is your wedding stylist will be the person, a wedding planner can do this too, but it's mostly a wedding stylist that would come in and say, what is your dream wedding? What does it look like? And what kind of things are important for you to have at your wedding? And once you kind of go through, okay, I love an outdoor, rustic feel, blah, 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 the chandeliers, the whole 9 yards, then we would bring you to a really good venue, much like the one I'm sitting in right now. So right now I am at the Falmer, and this is a beautiful venue that thinks of everything. A great bridal room, a great extra house just for family and friends that they're not bugging you while you're getting ready. A groom's house just for the guys to be able to hang out so that they have a place to, hang up their tux and kind of kill some time. Outdoor facility, an outdoor bar, good, just all the extra stuff that is the tiny details that a stylist thinks of. Stylist thinks of like, does my bride have air conditioning? Does my bride have a hook to hang her dress? Does my bride have a place to plug in for a steamer? Where is the hairstylist going to set up? Where's the hair, where's the makeup artist going to be able to set up? No, they cannot be in the same space. All those details that go into beautifying your process. That all goes with picking a really good venue that has everything from start to finish. There are also services to where you can pay an extra amount of money to have someone who can come in and throw away all your trash and clean it all up. If you have a venue, it does not include that. However, do not expect that from your wedding planner or your wedding stylist. Now, going into what a wedding stylist does is we work really closely on what your budget is and then designing the aspects of what that looks like for you. So all you girls that are Pinterest crazy and you have created the Pinterest board of your dreams for your wedding, you would bring that to us, a wedding stylist, and you would say, hey, like this is what I want my centerpiece to look like. This is what I want the look and feel to feel like. Now, I'd say that 9/10 of the problem for most weddings is they pick a look and feel and they don't look at the details of the photos. So they'll say, oh, I love the way that this wedding looks. And I'll say, okay, so let's look at this. And I'll show them a picture, I'll look at their picture of their centerpiece and I go, oh, okay, so you love baby's breath and you love this and you love that flower and that flower. And they're like, oh, not really. And so I go, oh, so you just love the look and feel of the photo. So that tells me what kind of photographer we're gonna hire, but that doesn't tell me anything about what kind of flowers we're gonna have. So we kind of break down all of the steps that kind of go into what it means for you to have that look and feel of the day. It's not really the hands-on day of planning. Day of planning would be your wedding planner. So not working specifically with timeline. They are gonna work specifically with your vendors. If you have furniture that's being rented, or arches, or drapery, or some kind of custom lighting, some kind of special feature, that's all your stylist who comes in and designs the whole aspect and makes sure that those vendors are booked and what time they're going to show up and what time you need the flowers and what the art should look like and what, all the little pieces go to. We also work specifically with the bride and the bridal party and designing the look and feel from start to finish of everything that goes into the wedding. So that means going to consultations with the bride and going through what your dress would look like. Not just the photo that you really liked and that you pinned and that you saved as a photo, but what dress really looks good on you. And then not just the bridesmaids' dresses that you like and that you saved on your phone, but also what looks on their body types and the colors matching and how it all looks together and how it's going to look in the photos and how it'll look when you're standing up there. Just to make sure that nothing's clashing and nothing ends up being to where a lot of girls order a lot of things and then they go, oh, I didn't know it was going to look like that. That doesn't look like the photo that I wanted. So we work really specifically on making sure that the design feature also matches what we think is going to look best on each girl. And the guys too. We do a lot of consultations with men to get them fitted for their suits, their tucks, and their boutonnieres and all of that kind of fun stuff. We also work on specifically setting the tone of your day. So working with you on your music, your lighting, your cues, where everyone is standing so that you don't have odd heights and who's walking with who, and just what it looks like when you walk down the aisle, and what your aisle design looks like, and just the whole entire look and feel of that whole process. We work specifically with the bride to talk about, and whoever she brings to a consultation, we work with them to talk about the time of year that they're getting married and our do's and don'ts for that time of year, and thinking about things that they may not be thinking of. If you're getting married in June in the middle of Texas, maybe not an all outdoor wedding, things like that we say, okay, well, if you're going to do it, then maybe this time when the sun's setting, and we're down to the detail of, okay, what time do we put on the invitations, because we want the photos to be right at sunset, what time is sunset, looking into all of those stuff to make sure that it flows exactly how you're thinking that you want it to be. So there's a lot of do's and don'ts that go into it, a lot of things that people just don't think of, that a good seasoned wedding stylist or wedding planner should know to fair warn you about. All the crazy stuff, like checking your outdoor venue to make sure they don't have red ants or things that you're allergic to, or allergies in foods for your guests, and just all that craziness. We also design wedding websites for you to have people to RSVP to, Facebook posts. We do the wedding design for your invitation, which is super fun. So there's a lot of fun things to get down to the basics of what your cake will look like, what it tastes like, setting up all of your tastings, setting up all your consultations with your photographer, your videographer, your floral design, your centerpiece design, giving you options in person so you know exactly what it's going to look like, and just really trying to keep all of that craziness within your budget. So if you want to check out more about the Falmer here in Tyler, Texas, we highly encourage you to go to the website here at the bottom and see all the amazing photos and videos that they have behind the scenes showcasing what their venue is all about, which we highly encourage. It's a beautiful facility that does think of all those details that some venues just don't. So we definitely encourage you to check them out. Second of all, you can go to E for Fashion and follow all of our vlogs and see our upcoming things that we're leading into summer now. I can't believe we're already into summer. And also going into the third part of this fantasticness, if you need a wedding planner or a wedding stylist, we encourage you to go to clvplanners.com and see more about what it is that we do as far as being able to design not just wardrobe and not just fashion, which we love, love, love to do, but also events. We get booked up from all over across America. Yes, we do travel and we do on location, so please hit us up if you have any requests. If there's any kinds of videos that you'd like to see next, we definitely encourage you to comment in the comments below. We hope that you have a wonderful spring leading into summer, and we will talk to you all very, very soon. Remember to subscribe and follow. See you guys.